Hello, welcome back. Me and my friend here welcome you back to the Dark Souls remastered informative playthrough that we're doing. Last time around, we went through the hell that is Blighttown, and we defeated a very fiery Spider Queen. And now we find ourselves down here with her sister, who is in a worse condition than Quelaag for sure. I think that her spider creature is dead or something because she doesn't look so mobile. I failed to mention this last time, but you can actually kill this lady, and when you do, she will drop a Firekeeper soul. We don't need to do that just yet, but I'm afraid we will have to at some point once we want to improve our Estus further. So on that sad note, we must part now because we've a few business to take care of. Now that we've rung both Bells of Awakening, we can get started on our next objective of the game, which is to get to a very cool place called Anor Londo. And in order to get there, we have to go through a few nasty places. So hope you were ready for that. Through here, you get to the Demon Ruins. We can actually go there and fight a boss right now, but we're not gonna do that because that boss is actually pretty damn hard. I mean, it's hard for me. I mean, I've never been able to properly deal with that guy unless I am like super well equipped, which I don't feel like I am yet. I don't feel like I'm up to par, up to snuff. And even if we beat him, we would not be able to do much else. Like this is something that's reserved for later in the game, so we're not gonna go there. We'll be there someday, but not now. Oh, you can take a better look. Yeah, it's like a hell. Like we'll come down to hell afterwards, and you know it's not gonna be even the final level. Like hell's not even the final level in Dark Souls. There's worse than hell in this land. Yeah, I remember last time we fought Quelaag in here. This was her lair, and we fought her off with the help of a strong lady that's wearing a sack on her head. And I kind of regretted doing that because I was having a good time, like kind of explaining how Quelaag works, and then she got in the way and kind of messed Quelaag up, and we were able to take her down super easy because of that. And yeah. If it's Solaire, we can summon Solaire because he's funny and he's our friend. But if it's anyone else, I don't think I'm gonna be summoning other people again to help us out. Okay, we're back here in this motherfucking place. Thankfully, there is a way to get up to the surface without having to go through the whole Blighttown thingy, and we're gonna do that. But obviously, in the process, we're gonna have to get ourselves poisoned again, which is, it's annoying, but what are you gonna do? We go through here to avoid those rock guys. We don't want to deal with them. And we have to kill this insect. Last time around, we also reached the point where we can use our halberd, our Black Knight halberd. But we decided against using it in the end because it was not going to be an efficient weapon for us to be carrying around right now. It would push us over our equipment load limit, and the stamina loss that would bring to our everyday encounters would just end up, pushing us towards the negative. Like I think we would have done really bad if we had continued on. We're gonna recover that poison now. And go up these stairs and through this elevator. I don't know who keeps and maintains this elevator running. Looks like a pretty well, doesn't look like it uses electricity or any sort of steam power or anything, but you never know. And it's probably just magic, right? Like black magic, black Blighttown sorcery. And there's a really dangerous place like through that tunnel that we can go to get a Firekeeper soul. And I think we are going to do that, actually. We are going to do that. Although, fuck, I messed up. I just realized I messed up because I did not I did not rest at our bonfire down there. Instead, the last bonfire I rested at is the bonfire that is all the way through Quelax's lair. So if we die, we have to go back all the way from there. And that's a pain, but we are committed now. Okay, okay, no. No, I can't do that to you. We are going to take the regular old bonfire from here because I don't want to. I am going to be honest. It is very likely that I will die in that place. It is very likely that I will die because that place is just filled up to the brim with the toxin guys, and it's pretty much impossible to avoid getting toxin in that place, making it for a very, very bad time indeed. So we are going to be cautious Dark Souls players, like we've been teaching all throughout this series. We're going to be responsible and do the right thing, which is to rest at this bonfire. There, now we're safe. And did it cost us too much? It didn't. It's just an elevator ride and a few fire-breathing bugs. And that's it. I like being able to change my mind like that throughout a playthrough. It is quite liberating. So yeah, back there in that tunnel there's a Firekeeper soul, which will obviously allow us to increase our Estus Flask potency, which is something that we will really be needing in the future. Like I said, we could have gotten another Firekeeper soul by killing the old spider lady back there, but I don't know, I kind of feel bad for her. I don't like killing her the first time I see her. I like killing her later on, because right now we are not like in desperate need to upgrade the Estus. Later on we will be, but right now we can let her live. I don't know, I have a soft spot for that sort of things. I know it's illogical. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, also, you know, a practical reason is also that if you kill her, that bonfire doesn't work anymore. So that's a good practical reason, I suppose, to not kill her. Okay, there's already, I think, someone shooting at me, shooting darts. Yep, fuck. It's up there. Okay, we are toxined, but we can make our way through this place before we succumb. And the toxin is working pretty fast to kill us, so we're gonna recover. And boy, you're seeing how we do not have that many masks. Oh, this is a nice set. Yeah, those guys are working overtime to make sure I am poisoned. Oh, that thing, I thought it was alive, but no, it isn't. We're gonna go up these stairs, and something tells me I'm not going the right way. Why do I have the feeling that I'm not going the right way? Yeah, I'm supposed to go through there and then through there, and this is leading us somewhere else. I think this is leading us. Is it back to Blighttown? Where am I going here? Where am I going? We might have to go back down. Let me just survey the area real quick, while avoiding the poison. Yeah, we have to go up through there and then through that walkway and kill that guy. And there's a lot more like him all the way through that tunnel, which is why I think that it's very likely that we'll die. We have done a pretty good job avoiding death so far, like only 3 deaths. One of them pretty dumb at that. So I would very much like to avoid that if possible, just to keep that streak going. But I'm afraid it's going to be very hard. Yeah, this is the staircase I want. But we'll try our damnedest. Okay, now this is the place where we can kill this guy. And there's another one of his friends shooting at us from back there. Yeah, there's another one of those. Oh, they hit me. They hit me. Okay, now that I'm toxined, I can just, fucking run for it, because we don't care about being toxined any more than we are right now. We're just gonna try and kill as many of them as we can before we need to recover our health. Like right now, I think we're gonna chug, and we're not gonna take we're not gonna cure the toxin until we are sure that we can avoid further toxin. So this is good. This is good. I think we're gonna take this right now, because that guy there is harder to take down. In fact, I don't think I will be able to kill him, but if I play my cards right, I'll be able to just avoid him. Oh, he just missed us. There's a few dogs here. We can take care of them. They don't do that much damage to us. We just want to watch out for the fire breathing. Yeah, but they leave themselves open when they do that. Okay, I think that's the Firekeeper soul. Okay, we go 200. Yeah, Firekeeper soul. That's all we wanted from here, and we're gonna just get the hell out, because there's no further point in being here. Okay, this is probably going to be the place where I get toxined again and probably die, because we are very low health. Okay, here they come, here they come. We're just gonna backtrack, and we could go get that, but I don't think it's worth it. Maybe it is, actually. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So be it, right? Okay, we are toxin. We are going to recover our health and just run. There's no time to recover the toxin. There's no time to recover the toxin. We can just chug more Estus if need be. Okay, we are safe. I'm gonna chug Estus, and then I'm gonna immediately use this. Okay. Okay, we did it. We did it. We actually motherfucking did it. Whoa. He won't give up. He won't give up. Kudos to him, but I think we're way out of range now. It's okay. He can go live in peace now. And we got a Firekeeper soul for that, so that's going to be super useful. And I haven't talked about what we're gonna do in this episode. Actually, we are going to be going back to a very special place in this episode. The place where it all began, you might say. We're going back to the Undead Asylum in this episode to fight a optional boss that we have to fight if we want to get to another optional area where another optional boss is. But it's all going to be very worth it, because that area is one of the coolest areas of the game, that has one of the coolest bosses in the game, and I really want you to see that. Also, there's a lot of you that probably might have gotten there and are really hoping I can give some tips as to how to defeat that boss, because it has a really particular way of doing things that can get a little messy. Okay, there's two of those guys here, so I'm gonna try and lure them one by one. These dudes are not hard by themselves, but when there's two or more of them, it's really fucking it's a nightmare. So you want to take them on one by one, unless you like pain. Okay, I was cocky there. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just waited and backstabbed them again. Okay, I'm gonna Estus. And this route we're taking is gonna take us back to, well, first to the Valley of Drakes, and from the Valley of Drakes we'll go to the Firelink Shrine again, back home. And remember I think it was the second episode of this series, I implied how there was a shortcut you could take from the New London ruins, like the Ghost City, that would take you somewhere where you would die very quickly. This is that place. Yeah. If you have the Master Key, you can actually come through this tunnel and go and fight Quelaag and all of these Blighttown critters right at the beginning of the game, if you want to. Why would you want to? Well, because you are in your second playthrough or because you are a very, very good Dark Souls player. But otherwise, it's kind of nutty. It's kind of nutty to do. This is the Valley of Drakes. If we go further down there, we will encounter a very, very angry kind of zombie-looking dragon that shoots poison. And past that, we can connect ourselves to the woods area, where we, I think we lit a bonfire that in the tunnel that leads to this area. And I mentioned it briefly that you could get to the Valley of Drakes through there. Do you see how the world connects itself? It's pretty damn awesome. And so this little gate leads to the New London ruins. Voila! You remember this place, right? We were here some time ago. Oh, you remember this guy. You have to remember this guy. Yeah, having a good time. So yeah, we're just, you know, a few steps away from home. And boy, there's some changes at home now. Now that we've rung both bells, there's some new stuff to see in the Firelink Shrine, which we will briefly. Yeah, we come a long way, haven't we? Yeah. I'm so glad that we managed to go through all of the depths and Blighttown without dying. That's pretty remarkable. And you can do it too, if you've been paying attention. I would like to think. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. We are going to visit our friend here and use the Firekeeper Soul to bring our Estus Flask to +2. So now we are that much more well equipped to face the hardships ahead. And before we rest, we are going to use some of these souls so that we can level up. Right now, my priority, I think, is going to be endurance, because we are not that far away from getting a few pieces of equipment that will require us to have a lot of carrying capacity. Specifically an armor set and a shield that once we get those on, woof, we'll be pretty set. Oh, we're just short of one more. That's sad. That's sad. We could kill this guy and get there, I think. And this guy's an asshole, so do we kill him? Yeah, why not? Let's kill him. And I don't feel bad about this at all, because this guy is going to turn on us like later on anyway. So we're kind of nipping him at the bud. And we've done him a favor, right? We've done him a favor. So that's alright. That's alright. Yeah, I don't feel bad about that one bit. Okay, let's go meet our newest resident of the Firelink Shrine. This guy. Yeah, he looks... well, he has a look to him. His name is... Well, let him introduce himself.
Hello. Was it you who rang the bell of awakening?
Damn straight.
The primordial serpent, King Sikafran, close friend of the great Lord Wind, chosen undead, who has rung the bell of awakening. I wish to elucidate your fate. Do you seek such enlightenment?
Yeah.
Very well. Then I am pleased to share. Chosen undead, your fate is to succeed the great Lord Wind, so that you may link the fire, cast away the dark, and undo the curse of the undead.
And this is the plot of the game.
Visit Anorlondo and acquire the Lord Vessel.
And that's it. Go to Anorlondo and acquire the Lord Vessel.
Pleased to see you well. Is it something urgent?
That's really all. You can feed this guy this guy effectively works as a way to sell items that you don't need. You can feed him items and you will gain souls. So items that you don't use, like I just feed him this because I'm never gonna use these things. Otherwise, no, this copper coin, yeah. No, these Titanites, I like the Titanites. Weapons, weapons, weapons. We only need one of these. But you know, it's not essential that we do this. We have 2 copies of this, so we can. We're not gonna use this, but I still don't like getting rid of it. I am, you know, a sentimental like that. I don't care about those though. Sack. The sack is fun. What else? Do we have anything here? I sure do. Like, I'm never gonna use crossbows, catalysts. Shush. We might actually use one of those shields for later. Not to use them, but there's another use that you can give them. And you can feed him titanite chunks, and you know the big thing with him, with this guy, is that you can feed him the souls of the bosses, and he will usually, not always, but usually give you a greater soul value than if you were to just eat the soul from the menu. So watch out for that. It's a handy thing to keep in mind.
Farewell, chosen undead. I remain here and await thee.
At this point, I think it's time we talk about it. This game, Dark Souls, has actually 2 different endings. 2 endings, and depending on what you do in the coming, like, we're gonna be doing some stuff soon enough that will affect which one of those endings we get. Now, there's 2 of endings, but there's really only one ending that you would I think you would normally get if you were playing it like blindly. Like, I'm sure that most of the people that play Dark Souls and beat it got this ending, which is the normal ass regular ending of you helping Kingseeker Frampt here to succeed Lord Gwyn and linking the fire. That's it. That's the first ending, and I think that most people will actually see that path the first time through. But there's another ending which is called the Dark Ending, or the Dark Lord Ending, or whatever, in which instead of coming to this guy, you just ignore him and you go get the Lord Vessel in Honor Londo, and then you never give the Lord Vessel to him. Instead, you kind of carry on with the game, and eventually you will find another one of these guys, like exactly like him actually, in another place in the game, and he will tell you that, oh, actually Gwyn and the Knights of Gwyn are all like selfish bastards who don't want their own golden age to die. We would much rather have a new age ruled by men, and you would be its lord, its Dark Lord. And so they tempt you with that, and you can do that instead. You can help the Dark Wraiths succeed at their goal of ending the Age of Fire, and you get the Dark Lord ending. And which ending you choose doesn't really impact a lot of what you do. It impacts the order in which you have to do certain bosses, I guess, but it's not a big deal. And because this is a informative playthrough, I plan on just getting the normal ass ending, so we can make friends with Frampt, no problem, and we will ignore his. I guess it's like his brother, right? He's called Kaith. We will ignore Kaith in this playthrough and just focus on pleasing our primordial serpent here, Frampt. Okay, now it's time for us to get back to the Undead Asylum. Yeah, oh, there's a whole posse here now. What's going on, Petrus?
My guests have finally
I can see that.
I will be departing with them shortly. So, I'm afraid I will be saying goodbye soon. It was a pleasure.
Oh, likewise. Who are you? Oh, well, not a lot to say, huh?
What have we here? You look awfully raggedy. Times are grim. The least you can do is look sharp. Don't you dare meet my lady like that. You might scare her off for good.
Yeah, okay, okay.
You are undead as well. We've no time to fraternize. I have my mission and you no doubt have yours. We must not let this curse overcome us.
Okay, so what's going on here? These guys are going to head off to the catacombs, which are underground, some way underground this place, by the skeletons. Remember the skeletons, the graveyard that where we ran around like fools, way back when? Yeah, these guys are gonna go there and they're gonna get into some real trouble that we'll get them out of. Well, these two guys, they don't have bright futures, let's just say. But she will make it, and she will give us. She can give you some neat stuff down the line. And this guy, yeah, this guy will, yeah, he's just a useless lump. We'll deal with him later. But for now, let's just preserve. Yeah, go towards our goal. And this is going to be pretty fun to watch, actually. Okay, you have in this elevator. We have to get off the elevator, like right then. Yeah. So now you're here, and then you go through here, and then you go through here, and then you see that place down there. Then you just roll towards, and then you're here, and then you go all the way up here. You follow the stairs. You circle back around. And there's this nest here, and you can curl up like a ball. Yeah. Just curl up like a ball. Just stay here. Don't stand up. Just keep curling up like a ball. Just wait. Just wait. Anytime now. Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's just some Castlevania 2 bullshit that you have to do, but it's fine. And our big bird friend here will take us all the way back to the Undead Asylum. Yeah, that's where it all started. That's the tutorial area. We have some unfinished business here that we must attend to. It's just some teeing up before we continue with the story. But before getting to that, oh, let me just kill these enemies first. Okay. Oh shit, they do more damage than you might think. Okay, they can kill us now if we're not careful. Okay, let's just Estes. Okay, all right, man. Okay, I'm gonna showcase a little trick that you can use to get a few items. Well, it's not a trick, it's like a thing in the game, but... Oh, that's weird. That's exceptionally weird. Normally there's like a little voice that triggers when you approach this place, this nest. But it didn't. Huh. Okay, 1 second. Let's try this. Let's quit the game. Let's quit the game and just see if he's there now. Normally he's very eager to say hello. Yeah, there he is.
You, give me warm, give me soft.
Okay, so how this works is you can drop items in this guy's nest, and the next time you quit and reload the game, he will have exchanged that item that you dropped for a better item. So for instance, let's drop a green blossom. You just have to drop one. Oh no.
No. That no warm, that no soft.
Okay, so at least he tells you, that's not gonna work. So we're grateful that he at least is clear on that. I think this one does work though. Okay, he didn't say anything to it. We dropped it. It's down there in the ground, and he didn't say anything, which means that this will work. So now I recommend that you stick yourself to this wall here, because this is a pretty precarious position. We could fall to our deaths. And when you quit and load the game back up, you may, by a few pixels, end up a little bit too close to the edge and die. So we want to avoid that, and you just quit the game and continue the game. And there you go. Yeah, he says that again, but you pick up this item, and it's now a twinkling titanite instead of a red clump. The sad thing is that you can only do this once per type of item, so you can no longer drop these kinds of moss to get items. So we can drop this once, but okay, we can't drop it because we have it. Okay, let's unequip the item, and then we can drop it. We can drop one of these. We have a lot of them anyway, and right away we can just quit the game and keep doing that. And we will do this for a few of our items so that we can, you know, equip ourselves with better stuff. It's a very nifty trick, and it's a trick that is obviously not. It's not that obvious, right? So I think it'll be good for you to learn. Okay, we're gonna drop one of these. I know we're running short on those, but thankfully we're not gonna be near any toxin-related place for some time, so we can afford to do that. It's not a problem. One thing you want to avoid doing while being in this position is you don't want to press circle or B like ever, because it will roll, and that has happened to me a lot. That has happened to me a lot of times that I, for some reason or another, press that button, thinking that I will, you know, do something. Okay, does this apply? No, I know this applies. The dung pies. And this is just some menuing that we're doing. It's not terribly exciting, but we have to do it in order to make this run as complete and as exhaustive as possible. And I think we can drop the rubbish, yeah. The key is in the hint that it gives you, right? Give me warm, give me soft, which means that if you give him like an item that is not that, like hard or or cold, like the bone, I don't know, he won't actually like that, and you won't be able to get any items. And that's the use of the rubbish. Really, the rubbish has no other value other than doing this. So it's good that we were able to do it. I don't think any of these items do anything. I don't know if this one, so let's just try it out. Yeah, it actually does. It actually does. So that's cool. That's cool. I think there was another item I could have gotten that also give it, will trigger it. Dragon scale. We're not really gonna use dragon scales this game, I don't think. Maybe we will. I think that's it. Okay, very carefully now. We will just step away, and that's it. That's Snuggly the bird. I think his name is Snuggly. Snuggly the bird in a nutshell. So we're back here, and what the hell are we doing back here? Okay, we're back here because there's another boss that we have to fight in this place, and that boss is actually down through that floor. If I step in that floor right now, it will fucking crumble, and I will drop to a battle arena where I'll be immediately put up against a horrible demon thingy, and we don't want that just yet because we want to be able to rest at this bonfire first, just in case we do poorly. And the thing with this boss is that he works almost exactly the same as the first boss of the game, like the boss that we faced here in the tutorial, except for a few exceptions. For a few attacks that he does, which we will be talking about, obviously. So the annoying thing with this fight is that you cannot avoid taking the fall damage that comes with dropping through here. Like, you will always start this fight at low health, which, you know, is part of the difficulty of it. But as long as you can kind of roll away to safety and recover quickly, you should not have a lot of issues. This is a quite tough boss, actually, for newer players to handle. like first timers, because he's just very brutal and he has a lot of HP. So you have to be very, very much on your toes. So let's just do it. Let's just go through it. Like we said it would happen. We are now in the lair of this boss, and it's the Stray Demon. Let's just recover our HP. And what you want to do with this guy is stay out of his range, and you want to be always near him. Like, okay, that attack that he does with it, you have to get clear, because he does that AoE thing that is magic damage, so you can actually block it effectively. Okay, he's gonna do it again, so you just stay away, and then you just swipe at him. I recommend that you use two-handed in this fight. There's not a lot of point in you blocking here unless you have a really good shield, which we don't really, or not good enough to block any of his attacks effectively anyway. Okay, it's still doing that. And it's just patience. He has a lot of HP, so it will take a considerable number of hits to take down. And this is a very, very improved Claymore that we have, so, you know, it might even be slower for you if you don't have don't have this. Okay, and yeah, that AoE attack covers the entire area around him, so you can't really stay in any way near him when he does it, or else you will suffer. It looks pretty simple, you know, the way I'm doing it, but the tricky part is not doing this that I'm doing, is getting into this position. That's the thing. Like I said before with Dark Souls, the trick is not really executing. The trick is knowing in which positions to get, so that you can just, you know, effectively do what you want to do. In this case, what I did immediately after I started the fight is I oriented myself to face the boss. I locked on, I recovered my HP, and then I was able to dodge a single attack and then get on his face, so that he wouldn't be able to use his longer range attacks, because his longer range attacks are much harder to dodge, and they're also, you know, it's pointless for you to even deal with them. So it's much better this way, and if we can keep him on this loop, we will be able to just wear him down eventually, and maybe even take him out without him hitting us even once. And yeah, actually this boss took quite a few tries from me the first time, because I didn't know about this pattern at all. Like, I kept trying to avoid him from a distance and then kind of swiping at him, but then he kept doing these attacks which were much harder to avoid. And I had to get used to that AoE too. I mean, I didn't know when to expect it before, but now I know, because I have kind of learned the animation that he does. So, you know, if you do that, it's also pretty easy, you know. So we just keep going. But, you know, fighting this guy isn't actually the real reason we're here. Nah, he's like a bonus for us, but the real reason we're here is because we need a certain item that we couldn't have gotten the last time we were here, and we'll be getting that item shortly after we hit this guy one more time. Yeah, that's a Stray Demon. Perfect Stray Demon. And he gives you Titanite Slab, which is very rare. It's a very rare item. I don't know where else you can get Titanite Slabs, actually. There might be a couple places, but yeah, that's one of the few that you get. And a Titanite Slab is used to increase a weapon to plus 15, the max any weapon can be. So yeah, you want Titanite Slabs if you can get them. And thankfully, we are very near now where we need to go to get our special item. If you remember correctly, this is the very first corridor of the game. Like, this is the tutorial, the very first place we were in. Except now there's a big old knight down there that's guarding an item. And that's exactly the item that we need, so we're gonna take that knight on. And maybe this knight will actually be a little harder than the boss. Yeah. But what gives me hope is that this guy is carrying a sword that I want a lot. Like, I am really, really hoping this guy drops that sword. My god, if he drops that sword, then fuck, we are set for life, baby. Okay, we're gonna recover our HP. Okay, and a huge part of knowing when to recover your HP is knowing when these guys are when these guys won't attack you. Like, you need to find a safe moment to do that. Otherwise, they will just kind of hit you. Okay, that's it. That should do it, I think. Oh shit! It didn't drop the sword. Okay. All right, doesn't matter. Peculiar doll. This is what we came to grab. The peculiar doll is like a key. It's an item that you need in order to get to that optional area we spoke about earlier. We are not going to go into that optional area just yet, but you know, I wanted to get the item just from the get-go, just so we had it. We didn't have to worry about it later. So we're gonna go back to the Firelink Shrine now. There's not really a lot that there's not a lot else that we can do here. I guess we can. There's one thing, I guess. We can open this door, maybe. No, we should have opened that door before. It doesn't matter anyway. Let's just go. There's a big old hole where we fell. And we have to deal with these guys. I'm just gonna Estus, because they can do a lot of damage, and it would be really embarrassing to die right now after we have prevented so many, you know, so much death already. And we go back to the nest and we curl up like the ball we are. And I'm gonna skip this because we've seen it already. And now we're back here. We're back here safe and sound. And we are not going to finish this episode yet. I think we can progress a little bit more before we do that. I'm gonna roll and get this. Oh, that's a key to the asylum actually. Maybe I should have used that. I'm gonna drop down here to get I don't even know if this is going to be useful. No, that at this point in the game, that thing is pretty much useless to us. Oh, these guys have already gone down. As you can see, this guy left them behind because he's a coward. That's not my words, though. He will say that to you if you talk to him. We are going back now. We're going up to the Undead Church. And back to our friend Andre, the blacksmith. Because we have some business to attend to regarding our the improvement of our weapon. We have an ember. We picked up a large ember in the depths way back when, and we are ready to give it to Andre for him to work his magic now. The Undead Parish, yeah. And the next big area of the game is also very close by here. It's actually just down there. So this is just where we want to be now. And it's another pretty infamous area of the game, if I should say so. Maybe Blighttown is the most infamous, but this next one is probably second place in that scale. We're getting to the point where we're actually going to have more stamina than HP, which feels weird. But as you can see, HP has not been a problem for us this game. It has not been, because we have been able to effectively wield our weapons and our stamina in order to avoid damage, like we said we would. Okay? Yeah, okay, don't get weird. Okay, let's just give this large ember. And you can now upgrade the Claymore to Claymore +6, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And now that we are able to do it, you can see that we can also do some modifications to the Claymore. Once it's +6, we can either transform it into a Rock Claymore, which the Rock Claymore has more raw strength, but it has less scaling. Like you can see, the parameter bonuses drop from C to D. So in the long run, it's not worth it to make weapons raw. We can also transform it into a Divine Claymore if we use a green Titanite shard, which will split its damage between magic and physical. And that might sound cool, but actually it would lower our damage overall, because there's a lot of enemies that just have natural resistances to that sort of magic damage, and that will just make our attacks all that less useful. And we can also revert it to +5 if you want, although I don't know why you would want to do that. Okay, now we can reinforce it with regular ass large Titanite shards to take it to even further heights. So we're gonna only be able to get it all the way to +8. But that's okay, that's actually much higher than I would have expected to get this Claymore by this point in the game. I expect we'll be able to get it to +9 in, well, maybe in some time, but maybe not immediately now. Yeah, so you can see we can upgrade the Black Knight Halberd with Twinkling Titanites. It will boost its attack by 24 for each improvement, which is not a lot. And with the number of Titanites we have on us, we could improve it, I think, once, twice, 4 times actually, I think. Yeah, it would be really fucking powerful. And we could actually wield this thing, believe it or not. I am very, very much debating on whether to do this now. Let me demonstrate. There's this ring we have that we picked up some time ago, the Havel ring. What it does is boosts our maximum equipment load, and it boosts it by quite a lot. We are at 80. This is at 120, so we can go all the way to 60 equipment load without having to worry about any of our any weight problems, really. Now we can wield this, no problemo. Now we can still mid-roll and stuff, and our stamina will still go the normal way. The problem is that this halberd is a little clumsy and unwieldy. You can see how it's not as elegant a weapon as the claymore. 2, 3, 4. 4 hits before we are completely drained. And in this case, it's a little bit more, obviously. It's 5 hits, yeah. 5 hits. Whereas with the claymore, well, maybe it's not that far off, actually. Let's see. We use the claymore. Yeah, it's 4 swings before we are out. But they are much, much faster swings, I think. I'm really close. It's really close. I just spent some souls and titanites upgrading this claymore. And even at +8, it's not... It's still pretty damn... it's 289 attack. While the Black Knight Halberd is 318, and we could take that to even further heights. Okay, you know what? Let's do it. I mean, Twinkling Titanites are a pretty valuable Titanite. I'm not gonna lie. They are very, very good, and we're gonna be needing a lot of them if you want to improve our armor later on, especially our armor. But even so, I will do this. I will reinforce the halberd, because we really will soar to new heights with this kind of attack power. Yeah, look at that. 343. Motherfucker. Now let's see how that is. 446. Can you really compare that? 446 to, what is it? To 200. No, yeah, it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. This motherfucking halberd will hit like a truck. I'm just gonna have to get used to the animation. So yeah, and we can use the remaining to boost ourselves a little bit. And you can see the halberd doesn't actually scale with dexterity in the way that our claymore does. It does have a little bit of scaling, but almost negligible. So yeah, we're better off just doing some strength here, although maybe I should do endurance. We've boosted our strength far enough, and Once we get to Anor Londo, we will be getting a new armor set that is really fucking good, but it's also really heavy. So if we wanna keep wielding this halberd and also wield that armor, we're gonna have to beeline for our endurance really, really, aggressively. So that's gonna be it for this episode. On the next episode, we're gonna go down this corridor and up to that gate that just opened into Sen's Fortress, which is the next area of the game that I am aware is also a pretty infamous place in Dark Souls history. So with that in mind, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.